Welcome back, future oceanographers. Now, this is the additional material on the observations and Lagrangian method. Do you remember from the previous lecture that we had on Lagrangian method, we went through some of the methods such as auger floats and drifters and gliders. But I thought zero bots is just such a cool topic, so I just decided to give this additional piece of material. Now, as because it's not compulsory, but I promise you this material will actually help you if, especially that you've got quiz one to answer and you've got some questions in the practical, and if you go for this material, this will definitely be helpful. So let's start with sea robots and deep sea research. Because dry oceanographers are not mermaids to collect samples. So this will also teach you on how to, you don't need to dive or swim to be an oceanographer. So I like this quote a lot because it says we're born too late to explore the earth and born too early to explore space. So we're definitely born in the right time to study our oceans. So this is a picture of a black hole, and so this was published last year, and this is more exploration happening on Mars. Now, robots in the ocean in the past, before we had HRVs, ROVs, AUVs, which I will come to in the next slide, we had to rely on more analog methods of data collection, such as sending nets and Niskin bottles to collect samples. But now what happens is we've got HRVs, which are human-occupied vehicles, ROVs, which are remotely operated vehicles, AUVs, autonomous underwater vehicles, and HROV, which is a hybrid remotely operated vehicle. Sorry. Now where am I? Okay, so let's start with human-occupied vehicles. Now these guys are battery operated. They can take 1 or 3 passengers depending on the design, and they're known to have little manipulator arms which they can use to pick up samples. Now, how can I go on without mentioning my favorite HOV? But this one is fictional, so please remember this. This is from Jules Verne's novel, The Nautilus, and it had Captain Nemo on it. But let's come to what made history. The Bathyscaphe Trieste. It had 2 hydronodes, and that was back in the 1960s. And it went all the way deep, and we're talking about deep, 10,911 meters. So it had Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh, and they went all the way down in the Mariana Trench. Now we have another one called Deep Sea Challenger. This guy also went all the way down to the Mariana Trench. And this was quite recent in 2012, and it is owned by James Cameron, and obviously James Cameron was one of the passenger. Alvin is also quite famous. It was actually used in exploring the Titanic, and we've got so many others. We've got Jialong, which belongs to China and can go all the way to 7,000 meters. We've got Pisces 4, which can also go to 2,000 meters. Now let's look at some remotely operated underwater vehicles. Now these guys are normally connected to the ship and they have cameras. Some of them also have some manipulator arms that can help pick up some samples. Let's look at this guy, for instance. This got a suction device and is trying to pick up this little deep sea octopus. So shame, poor little guy. Deep Discoverer is quite famous, and guys actually gave you a task to go check out NOAA Ocean Explorer Instagram page, and if you see it's open deployed at different places to go explore. It's also been in the Mariana Trench, and the next one is Jason. Now this guy is really famous, and this is why I love this guy. So what you're seeing right now, this is Jason.